Hi, welcome to Why Cats with Andrew LZ. My name is Andrew LZ. I am a Phoenix comedian, and the whole point of the show is I talk to friends and other comedians about the movie Cats, and I just want to get their opinions on it. And I am watching the movie once a week, every week for a year, and just to see what it does to me, but also to have very fun, interesting conversations with people who sometimes haven't seen it beforehand before I ask them to do the show. And in today's case, with comedian and very funny comedian in the Phoenix area, Kate Borrell, and she actually saw the movie in theater as well. So I mean, yeah, welcome, Kate Borrell.
Hi.
Hi. So you saw this movie in theater?
Yeah, because there were no open mics at the time.
Okay. Yeah. It came out like
I mean,
around.
it was a Saturday, so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, usually those are just book shows, and if you're
Hmm.
not on that book that week, you might
Hmm.
as well go see a movie. I am a massive movie fan. I'm sure you can see behind me. I've got just a ton of movies back there, but
Where's Citizen Kane?
oh, I don't have like bougie shit like that.
Mm.
I have some classes like class. Why can't I think of words? Classics like Gone with the Wind. Uh, bad, great acting, but
Hmm.
terrible story. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, most of my stuff is like horror and like kind of like random shit. Like I've got. Uh, have you ever seen Youth in Revolt?
I have not, never even heard of it.
Michael Cera kind of plays a two characters in it, and it's completely ridiculous. Um, so I love bad movies, but I grew up watching musicals. My family and we all watched Grease. We all watched like Hair. We watched a lot of stuff involving hair products. Hairspray is amazing too. Did you grow up watching musicals at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sound of Music and Mary
Yes.
Poppins were on repeat.
I loved Sound of Music. I don't love Mary Poppins. I like Mary Poppins, but I don't love Mary Poppins. But
The
Sound of
only thing I
Music,
remember about Mary Poppins is that, like, there's one guy who laughs so hard he dies, and then they're like, just to make the joke, oh, he died laughing.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Julie Andrews is a treasure. I think
Hmm.
she had one of the greatest voices of all time, and unfortunately, you know what happened to Julie Andrews, right?
Something about surgery.
Yeah, she was having surgery to like remove like nodules on her throat,
Hmm.
and it was a botched surgery, and she hasn't been able to sing since. So sad moment, but let's bring it to even sadder moment. Let's get back to let's talk to about cats.
Could you
Uh,
imagine if Julie Andrews could still sing and then she would be approached to do Cats, but as old Deuteronomy?
Deuteron-
Deuter Yeah,
Deuteronomy.
that old cat. Can't even say
Uh,
his
I I think she would have done a better job than Judy Dench, and that's hard to say because Judy Dench is one of the best actors ever.
name. And
Um,
yeah, but Judy's not really known for singing.
no, but
No.
she doesn't really sing in the musical though.
She sings some lyrics though in the movie,
Yeah,
and then like she has that moment near the end of the movie where she goes up to the camera.
that
She's like
monologue
sitting
and
like this, and she turns like, and then she's like explaining to you that a cat is not a dog.
yeah, it's awful. uh, um, so what are your actual thoughts about this movie? What do you want to talk about with this? What did you get out of this movie?
This movie is a hot mess. I mean, it has the unfortunate it's unfortunately about like gritty realism cats, but then it's like these cats dance. Like the better parts of this movie, like Jennifer Hudson singing Memory
Yeah,
with a bit of a growl, and the tap dancing number,
yeah.
get overshadowed by terrible effects that this is like hearsay, but my guess is the budget. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they allegedly cut the budget, and that's why the effects like look the way they do. And then you would think the cats would be furry, and then they also have like human hands and human feet,
Yeah.
so it looks weird.
Yeah.
And then
It's
I just feel like you cannot take your mind off of it, especially if you look at Idris Elba and he's got like clothes on, and then halfway through he's naked, and
yeah.
it's like he's naked.
And
My
it's
thoughts are all over the place, just like the movie is all over the place. I
yeah.
feel like because the movie is based on a stage play, and the stage play has a plot that's like thinner than a slice of uncooked bacon. And
Yeah.
then Hollywood was like, you know what? Instead of showing the bacon, which made it successful, let's show the pig. But then it's like you're showing the pig that is screaming in pain. And they're like, that's the movie.
All right. I don't know if they cut the budget. I know that they put a lot of money into it at the
They
very end.
put too much money into it, and then it flopped.
Yeah.
They lost so much
It's
money.
like a record loss. It's one of the like the top 10 record losses in Hollywood history.
And then
Uh,
it wasn't, and it allegedly wasn't even done.
no, it was
Like you
not
could
done.
see Judy Dench's hand
Yes,
just casually there, like this.
with her wedding ring and everything on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. So if you want to know a little bit of the history about the production and the production woes, basically what happened was they and I think I told this last week to Dana was they the first trailer that came out, I believe during the Super Bowl of the previous year, like at the beginning of 2019, uh, was was a minute long, but then they released a 2.5 minute long trailer online, and that 2.5 minute trailer took about 3 to 4 months to edit itself to for it to render out through the computer, and then they had 5 months on top of that to edit the rest of the movie and render out the rest of the movie, which is a pretty long movie. It's about an hour and 45 minutes. Um, so basically they had their CG artists working about 70 to 90 hours a week trying to finish the all the rendering basically with there's literally billions of hair follicles on every single frame of this movie. So basically it makes it impossible for these single frames to render out in a timely fashion. They rushed it to get it out for Oscar consideration.
They shouldn't have rushed it.
Yeah, I mean,
They really shouldn't have.
yeah. Well,
Like this movie was clearly trying to be Oscar bait. I feel
it,
like that's
it,
part of
it
the problem.
it's
Like
exactly what it is.
musicals in general have this history of being Oscar baity movies.
Yeah, I
And
mean, Mary Poppins Returns was definitely one of those two, and
mm,
the Meryl Streep part of that is like I love Meryl Streep, but that her scene in the Mary Poppins Returns is the worst part of the movie. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
It's on Disney Plus. You should watch it if you like Mary Poppins. Sorry,
Mm.
but yeah, this movie is I'm like I said, I'm obsessed with movies. I have all these actual copies because I love special features. I love learning about the production of the movie and everything like that goes into it. So, and also I used to work in video editing, not so much like video graphic, video effects, but I would just edit stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'm just like my sister and I are just these kind of people. So,
You
so
know, before theaters were closing, the cats that some movie theaters were showing cats as a midnight spectacle,
okay, kind of like a Rocky
like
Horror.
Rocky Horror or The Room.
Yeah,
It was actually great. It would be similar to The Room. Like you heckle at the movie when you hear the dog barking, you throw something at the screen.
yeah.
Like
That
how you throw spoons.
I've heard that they're like that's the second life of this movie that they're going to try to make is I mean obviously it's not as good as Rocky Horror, but yeah,
It
they're
honestly needs that second life. It was hard to watch through on HBO Max.
so
It's like I just want to throw something at my phone.
I've watched the movie I believe 8 times now. And
How are you still alive?
I am, as I've been saying the last couple episodes, I am in the Stockholm syndrome phase where I'm kind of enjoying the movie. I'm not. I don't pay attention like 100% of the time. I'm on my phone sometimes, but I know most of the words of the songs, except for the Skimble Shanks one because it's a little too fast for me to remember everything.
You're gonna
Uh,
get to the point where you remember the dance numbers.
oh, I already do. I've
Like
been a
I
fan
got
of.
the choreography down.
I can't do choreography. I don't have the dance brain to be able to do that. But I've
Mm.
once again I love. I grew up loving plays and musicals, and I went to ballets growing up. I love dance, so I mean, and this movie kind of technically has everything for a dancing and a singing uh, fan because it has every type of dance. It has contemporary, it has modern, it has tap, it has ballet, it has hip hop dance, it has all this stuff. The only thing it doesn't do is Bollywood, that
Mm.
type of dancing. But
I feel
so
bad for the ballerina that's like supposed to be the protagonist,
Victoria
the white cat.
Francesca
Yeah,
Hayward, yeah,
yeah, because she's clearly a smooth dancer when you
yeah.
watch her, and they got some good shots of her dancing,
I
and
don't
you
feel
can
like they did
tell she's
enough
very
with her.
trained. But then she's limited in acting and limited in singing, and then that song I just learned like that song was only written day of shooting, so she's like, I'm not so sure about the lyrics. It comes off like that because
Um,
it's like, oh, this song was literally produced in a day with
that
little to no time to rehearse.
that song was actually written by Taylor Swift and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Did you
Specific.
see? Did you see where the little interview where Taylor Swift cringily says, "If you can't get T.S. Eliot, get T.S."
No, I haven't seen that.
Well, now you you need to
I,
watch it.
I'm gonna write that down in my notes. Right, you said Taylor Swift said if you can't get T.S. Eliot,
Get T.S.
okay.
We
Um,
met her. I was like, that is so cringy.
uh, what one thing that I've been getting a lot of comments on is a lot of people think that the main cat Francesca or Victoria, who's portrayed by Francesca Hayward, they know Taylor Swift is in the movie and they think that that's Taylor Swift. Did you at any point think that was Taylor?
Singing
No,
singing the
no, no. The
song?
the main cat.
No.
No.
No,
Okay, so you
they
okay?
clearly don't look the same.
I know, but literally every single
What?
like April, Dana, some of my friends.
Taylor Swift is an orange cat that comes in 70 minutes sitting on some plastic moon
Yep,
with catnip, and she's like,
and just drug.
McCavity!
Yeah, and she's just drugging all the other cats.
With a
Um,
bad British accent.
oh, it's so bad.
Probably taught to her by her boyfriend.
It's so bad. Um, so, uh, did you happen to like any bit of this of the story or the movie at all? Was there anything
Okay,
that you
well,
liked?
I mean, I like the tap dancing number.
Okay, the Skimble
I
Shanks
did
one.
like it like that tap dancing number was clearly the best musical number in terms of like the choreography.
Yeah, I would say so. That one. I mean that guy. I have his name here. His name
A close
is.
second for like choreography would be the two twin cats that are getting in trouble with her.
Okay.
Mumbo, Jerry, and Rumble teaser.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
I was watching over that choreography. It's like, oh, what they do on the stairs is a little underrated.
no, I'll have to rewatch that part.
They
Yeah.
could like they use props and they
Yeah.
use
There's a lot of prop work in that
a
song.
lot of prop work.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
the original musical theater production of Cats was a lot of prop work. You could
Oh, is
see
it?
whatever props they had around. They were like, "We're gonna use this." Like it was clearly props throughout the choreography,
Okay. See,
aside from the sexual dancing.
you're not wrong. Uh, I have the Broadway recording of it. I just haven't watched it yet. Uh,
Oh.
so I might actually watch that tonight. So okay, I whenever I first went and saw this movie in theater, I took an edible about an hour beforehand, hoping it would kick in like right as soon as the movie started.
And it
Uh,
never kicked in.
it never kicked in. Like the power of this movie kept it from me enjoying it to the fullest. So I haven't watched this movie.
That's the antidote.
Yeah,
Cats. The movie
I,
is
I
the antidote for edibles.
I haven't watched this movie high or drunk or anything. So I'm eventually gonna have to do that.
Mm.
But yeah. Uh, were there any performances that stood out as good or bad to you?
Uh, Rebel Wilson trying to be funny stood out as bad.
Really? You don't like? I mean, she's not great in this movie, but I think Rebel Wilson's a pretty funny actor.
I mm,
I mean,
she's
in
like a
small
bad
doses.
singer, and then I think she had too much screen time, and then her character's introduced like scratching her crotch,
You're not wrong. Yeah.
and then she has like creepy mice children and those cockroaches that she's eating, and
Yeah.
it's like, wait, why?
I'm more disturbed by the mice than the cockroaches. Uh, the just the pear shape of the like the actual physical pear shape
They're
of
pear
them.
shaped, and then they have this little face. It's a
Yeah.
child's face. And it looks
Yeah.
horrified.
It was
Horrified to
terrifying.
be there, and I'm like, I'm horrified to see you.
um, what was the most disturbing part of the movie for you? Because obviously there's a lot of disturbing parts of the movie.
You mean besides everything?
Yeah, I mean the most disturbing part.
Oh
Yeah.
God, in this movie, have a most.
It changes for me every once in a while because like obviously like some of the like the more glaring parts is when Rebel takes off her skin to reveal like a sequence like like I can't think of the proper word like
Another costume.
yeah, like a sequence costume, but or
It's
when
more cockroaches.
yeah, and then Idris Elba being nude and one of the prettiest dudes in the world, and
got uglied,
he's
ugly
terrifying.
fed.
How do you make Idris Elba an ugly guy?
Well, they did it.
Yeah, the the part that bothers me the most right now is James Corden whenever he falls into that into like the circle well or whatever, and Jason Derulo's in there, and Jason just pours like champagne into his mouth. It's just so poorly like graphicked out that
Mhm.
it's so disturbing to me.
I was a little disturbed by Judi Dench like lifting up her leg.
Okay. When she's listening to like
Like,
Ian
like
McKellen or
it's
something? Or?
yeah, Ian McKellen cat. I feel like Ian McKellen cat doesn't appear into the movie until she shows up.
Yeah,
And then
right after, yeah.
and then the camera is like, look at these two.
Yeah.
They're flirting.
Yeah.
Oh, you see him? You see her?
Yeah, I mean
This cat's gonna.
oh yeah. They introduce Ian McKellen and her well, they're singing about Old Deuteronomy, and then all of a sudden Ian McKellen shows up, and he does like whenever they're going into the actual theater, Ian McKellen just like randomly just it's a close up on him, and he just goes meow 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 meow, and it's so awful. Like Ian McKellen, you're one of the you're a very well established Shakespearean actor. What are you doing? And then whenever he's licking out of the bowl, is awful, and then he rubs himself against the
Whenever they're looking at a bowls or anything, that's just disturbing because they're just like,
yeah,
they're like that.
we're not meant to do that. Have you seen the stage version of the show? Then I assume.
I've only seen what I've seen online.
Okay. I only watched a small part just the other
The
day.
stage show looks immediately better. The 1998 one.
Yeah, that's.
I remember being a kid and I had this Barney's Great Adventure VHS tape, and before that, it was a preview of Cats, 1998.
I'm assuming probably that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I just haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
They really get rid of all the homoerotic stuff from the theater musical.
Yeah, I mean, well,
particularly with like Rum Tug Tugger and Mr. Mistopheles. Like they're not even friends in the movie. They're just
They're just there.
they're like Rum Tug Tugger is like, oh, I don't care about Mr. Mistopheles, and then Mr. Mistopheles is like, this guy's a terrible boy. Like they hate each other or something like that.
I'm probably gonna have to watch that then.
Mm.
Yeah, I have a I really like Mr. Mistopheles for some reason. There's just something about him that I really like. I don't know. He's just like if I were to relate to
Maybe
any
it's
cat in
because
this,
he's going after the protagonist and he's like, I'm the love interest. Whoa.
yeah,
I
I
want
guess
your
he's
validation.
yeah. I mean, he eventually does the magic and gets Deuteronomy back. So old Doot, as Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser call her. Um, uh, what was I going to ask? So do you think you're ever going to watch this movie again now that you have HBO Max, or do you
I mean,
like? I mean, like
I
just to
don't
show other
know.
people just how bad it is.
I mean, if other people have HBO Max, they can go see it for themselves. I mean, you can find clips of this movie online, I assume. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know. I'm not.
Um, yeah.
I'm not actively looking for clips online of cats. Let's see. Memory by Jennifer Hudson.
That's great. That'd be a great Google search. But like I said, I'm kind of in a point where I actually enjoy the movie a little bit. Just I can enjoy for what it is because I know it's a bad movie, and I love bad
But
movies.
they don't know.
Yeah,
They don't know it's a bad movie.
I think everybody knows it's a bad movie
I mean,
now.
well, they know now.
Yeah, because
Feeling
like,
bad for Jennifer Hudson. She
oh yeah,
because her memory, her version of memory hits differently in 2020,
yeah, yeah.
given that the song's about loss and loss of time.
Yeah, I wasn't actually thinking about that. Sometimes I just like whenever I listen to anything, I don't really think about the lyrics. I just enjoy what's happening. I'm like a child there. Um, like, but bad movies are my favorite thing to watch. Just because I like the worse the better sometimes. Just because like I love that cringe of just of watching something bad.
You need Jason Derulo yelling no.
I hate his song so much just because like it's exactly what a cat would think. It's just literally if you offer me something, I'm gonna want something else, or if you and if you give me that, I'm gonna want the other thing back.
They
So
didn't. Maybe they didn't teach that in cat school, where
I,
these actors went to, except for him. And they're like, your cat is gonna want what you don't want.
yeah, I I think everybody attended the cat school except for like I think Ian McKellen.
Hence the meow meow meow
And
meow
yeah,
meow.
it's literally like if you ever get a chance, you should just definitely look up that scene where he just randomly meows into the screen, like like kind of doing that. Um, yeah, I don't know. Crap, I can't think of anything right now. I like what was your favorite song in the movie besides Memory? Because everybody like I give everybody that caveat just because that's undeniably a great song. It's undeniably a great song.
Well, you're like, don't list the best song as best song.
Yeah, because it's the obvious best song. It has to be like it needs to be something else. It needs to be the next best song because I've had people like that song that you mentioned earlier, the one where Victoria sings right now. That's my favorite song. There's a Taylor Swift version of the song and it's longer, and I don't like the longer version. I definitely like the way Francesca Hayward sang it. I like the song Mr. Mistopheles, but like you talked about the Skimbleshanks one, that the tap dancer one.
No, that was because of the choreography. Don't really
Okay,
care much about the song.
it's a little off. Yeah.
Gosh, really making me think.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point.
So, because this movie doesn't think.
Yeah.
So he's like, we don't know we're bad.
Yeah, I mean the actors didn't know it was bad beforehand. Like James Corden, obviously, he has the Late Late Show with James Corden, and
Yeah.
he had almost all the main cast show up that week that it was opening, doing skits like talking about like cat school and everything like that, and they were talking it up. They were talking about how excited they were, and then like more recently, James was like, "Yeah, I've never seen the movie."
I've seen the house that it pays for.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said that. I'm forgetting who. Gee, I really have to think about what the best song. Mm, mm. I think the second best song that isn't Memory. It's shortly after the old cat is introduced. I cannot say it for the life of me.
Deuteronomy. I know. Don't get me wrong.
But
All the names in this movie are ridiculous. There's
they're in the Egyptian theater, and it's not a.
oh, we're frozen. Okay. I'm just going to talk right now. Unfortunately, I might have lost Kate, or I might have lost connection. I don't know. She's frozen on my. Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you. I just like you're frozen on my screen. Oh, there we go. Maybe.
There, maybe.
Yep. I mean, you're frozen in a different space. Oh, there we go. I think we got you back.
Yay.
Okay.
I was saying that there was like an instrumental song that like
Okay.
happens in the theater.
So you like the song with no lyrics, where
The
it's
song
just,
with no lyrics.
just the dance break.
Like, the dance. You're like, I just like the dance break.
that's the best answer.
Mm.
You like the interlude during the dance break where everybody's showing off what they can do. Like Victoria's dancing. You have hip hop dancers with Jason Derulo dance.
You brought up like the weird naming of cats, and they do something where like they're like, this is a Jellicle cat name. And you know where they're like a grave or something like that, and they're talking about the importance of a name, and they're like, well, she needs a new name, let's give her a Jellicle name, and then they never give her a Jellicle name.
I know. It's that part has always bothered me because they like I have it written down. Where are you?
Maybe we should give her a Jellicle name.
Yeah, they please I want to hear your Jellicle name for Victoria. Because I wrote down, why do they need 3 different names? Yeah, they never explain why. Like they explain that it has to be something that like the owner, like the humans would never know, or anybody else would ever know. So I never really got that, but there is a beautiful interpretive dancer in. But other than that, they explain a lot of things about being a proud cat, but they never explain why you need 3 names. Trust me, I'm going to be the foremost expert on this movie by the time this is over.
Maybe they didn't come up with a Jellicle name for her because they're like, it's already hard enough as it is. We can't do it ourselves.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to think, just because, like I said, this movie has the weirdest names, like Old Deuteronomy, McCavity, Busterford Jones. I think that one's my favorite name right now. Rum Tum Tugger, Grisabella the Glamour Cat, Jenny Any Dots. One name, not Jenny Any Dots. It's Jenny Any Dots. Gus the Theater Cat, or Asparagus. Growl Tiger. My favorite character, who's they never say his name, but he's like the guy guiding Victoria throughout the entire movie. His name is Monkustrap, or Monkustrap. I don't know how to say it because they never say it in the movie. But he's the one who guides her throughout the entire thing. And then obviously Mr. Mistopheles. Taylor Swift is Bombalurina. And then, of course,
never say her name either.
They never say her name. And then Skimbleshanks, the railway cat, which I think that's just the most fun name to say.
Oh, these names.
I know. This movie. I don't know. I I continue to look forward to doing this every week just because I love talking to people about this just because I want everybody's perspective. Just because it's
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I do this because I'm lonely.
oh no, I am lonely. I am lonely. I've got two dogs.
You're like, I need to talk about something other than my dogs. How about the movie Cats?
Like coincidentally, no cats. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't owned a cat like 13
Because
years.
you would treat a cat like a dog, and that's not cool.
I would probably treat
Into
my
the movie.
well, my last cat we had for like 12 or 13 or 14 years. I don't remember how long. We did kind of treat her like a dog, like because she was very much like we got her and her dog right around the same time, so they grew up doing the same things. Her name was McKinley. Kind of wish I would have named her McCavity now. Um, actually, no.
She's now in the heaven side layer.
No. Well, okay. The heavy side layer.
Heavy
Why?
side layer.
What are your thoughts on the heavy side layer? Why?
I've
Why
never seen cats so enthusiastic to die.
exactly? Why do you think?
Horny cats that want to die.
Why do you think a cat like Skimbleshanks wants to die and be reborn? Why Skimbleshanks? He seems
I
like he
don't.
has a great life.
That's what I'm saying.
Hmm?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it lonely being on trains?
I guess.
They didn't show people on trains.
Yeah, there's Bustopher Jones, who's James Corden. Why does he like? He seems to have a good life too.
They say in the movie like
He
he
wants,
wants to be reborn so he could be born thin and then get fat again.
yeah, that's what Rebel Wilson says. And then with Rebel wants to just get out of the comfort of living at home, like living in a home where she can do whatever she wants. Why does she want to die? The only two people who I
I just thought Jenny Annie Dots has the 2020 mindset. Oh, she wants to die because she's stuck at home and she'd rather not be at home.
I guess so. Why does Idris Elba want to die?
Because he's McCavity. He's ugly. They uglied him. He's like, I want to be pretty.
He's pretty. I mean, obviously, like his body is a nightmare. But he still looks like Idris Elba, kind of.
Kind of.
I get two people why they want to die. I get why Grisabella and Gus want to die because Gus is old and apparently he can't hunt anymore. And Grisabella has a shitty life because she went with McCavity. But I like whenever I watch this, I always feel bad because obviously Grisabella, she definitely kind of deserves to. She sings the best song. She does the best and the competition to go to the heavy side layer. But I feel bad for Gus because he, like he said, he can't hunt. Mice and everything aren't afraid of him anymore. So I feel bad for him. I feel like I'm the only person who thinks this way. And I think I lost you again. And maybe we're frozen again. The joys of Zoom. So I'm just going to continue talking until we get her back. I don't know, man. This movie is. We're on episode 7 or 8. So there's 52 weeks. I have 44 times I have to watch this movie. And while I'm still waiting, oh, I think I lost. Oh, hold up, we're coming back. Hello. Hi. I lost you for a second, and then like you completely left my screen. There we go.
I visited the heavy side layer for a bit.
Oh, how was it? How was? It's been another year. Who's up there now? It's been another year since this movie came out. Who else is up there with Grisabella?
Epstein, surprisingly.
Who? Oh, God damn it. That's why she's a better comedian than I am. I'm thinking still within the realms of this movie, and she's thinking miles ahead of me. Uh, I don't know. What have you been doing with your time since the pandemic started? What have you been doing?
So I ran an online show for a bit, and then, well, this was when Arizona was shut down first time, and then when Arizona reopened back up, stopped running my show, and now it's like December, and then I've been doing more Zoom shows. I did one for did a corporate gig online.
Nice.
Then I was recently at a Stir Crazy Comedy Club for a charity show. I have been making sketches for Hot Phoenix Nights.
Nice.
I've had, I mean, it seems like I've had a good year in terms of what I've been doing in stand up.
Okay. I haven't gone out since March as far as stand up goes. I have a very terrible immune system, so I am deathly afraid of this because
Mm-hmm.
I'm positive if I get it, I will not be coming home. So I'm waiting for the vaccine, and then I'm gonna probably wait about couple weeks to a month after. I miss doing stand up so bad. But I've been writing a lot, and my writing has changed. I don't think you've ever seen me perform, but I've always done more. I love darker material, talking about really terrible things. Like, I don't know, like I like you. I can't compare myself to him because he's one of the best at doing it, but I love doing material that Anthony Jeselnik would probably like, just because he talks about terrible shit. I love talking about similar shit. Obviously, I don't have his delivery or anything like that. So, but lately, I've been smoking more. I've started smoking weed during the pandemic, and it's changed my writing a little bit, just because I'm a deeply depressed person, but I don't ever want to be on antidepressants because I don't want that to change really my brain chemistry really too much, because it definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like, weed has definitely changed my writing style, and I'm excited to go perform. But like, and unfortunately, like, sometimes you just write about stuff that's more topical, and unfortunately, by the time like a month later, it's no longer topical, so there's no point. So I've had to ditch a bunch of stuff like that. But I was like, something like you did, like, you started a an online Zoom comedy uh
Show.
I couldn't think of the word show.
I
And
mean, I wasn't the only Phoenix comedian that did.
yeah,
I don't know if you know Devonte Easby and Chris Banks, but they ran an online open mic for a little bit.
yeah. I
Except when they stopped running their open mic, suddenly I saw some shows where they were getting so much recognition for running an online show, and I'm like, "Excuse me,
yeah.
hi,
I had
I'm you
been
too."
I had been trying to start one. Like, I was trying to get everything set up. I was trying to book about. I was going to do like once or twice a week, and try to book it out at least 3 weeks out. But
Mhm.
then I had to start working again, just because I wasn't getting any kind of income in. So I kind of scrapped it. It was going to be my old my something that I've always
And an
used, which
online
is.
show takes a lot of time to like devote it. An online show devotes a lot of time. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm
I was trying to say, like, an online show devotes time because you have to make sure the room set up. You have to make sure there's no technical glitches.
Yeah,
Uh, you got to keep trolls out of the chat.
yeah.
Some people have had that problem.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen like threads of people saying, "How do I get these trolls out of here?" And some people charge money for their online shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had no intention of doing that. I just miss doing comedy after a month. I miss it
My
immediately.
downside
But
of not charging for my show was that I'd have to rely on other comedians to pass on the Zoom link and password for the
yeah,
show, so I didn't have that many people. And then the one time I did have a bunch of people in the Zoom try to crash it and then limit how many people could like go into Zoom, and that was a barrier on my show.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, but I'm excited to get back out. Have you been watching any movies during the lockdown or anything?
Other movies besides Cats?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. I saw Mank,
Okay.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I'm thinking of Ending Things. Those are all just on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Then Palm Springs on Hulu.
Yeah, that
I
was
believe
really
I
good.
also saw Blazing Saddles on Hulu. I don't understand people that are like, "Oh, you can't make Blazing Saddles today," and I'm like,
You
"Why do you want to?"
Yeah. Blazing Saddles is like
It was for that specific time period. Why would you want to?
Blazing Saddles is an amazing comedy. I mean, Gene Wilder, and I can never think of that the other actor's name. He was great though. Um,
Mm.
but that movie is amazing. It's like I love the ending, the them breaking the
I
fourth
love
wall
the
and
song "I'm Tired."
okay.
Like it's the most lazy cabaret uh singing and dancing, and she's like, "I'm tired," and the guys are like, "Oh."
It's a great
It's
movie.
so funny to me.
The only part that I've hated since I was a little kid was when that big guy punches the horse. Um, I don't know. Uh, I don't know.
I was like, I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember like
I
the
don't
like
remember. I just remember some parts, like this one guy that's like making a meta joke where he thinks he's gonna get an Oscar nomination, and
yeah.
it's funny that he didn't.
Um, yeah, I've been watching mainly shows during the quarantine. Like I've watched quite a
Yeah.
finished quite a few series. Like
I recently finished 9 months of binge watching 9 years of Seinfeld on Hulu.
I can
And
tell
that's
you,
with ads. The
I get
ads get annoying.
my family never liked Seinfeld, so I can tell you, I've never watched a complete episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, I grew up with a family that likes Seinfeld. So
My family
I would
liked
see Seinfeld on
Friends.
reruns growing up.
My family liked Friends and everything like that, like and just like the more wholesome comedies, the more wholesome sitcoms.
I feel like I'm not sure about Friends. I've never I attempted watching a Friends episode one time years ago,
Yeah,
and then I was like, I don't get it.
it's very bland comedy, but it appeals to the masses for
And,
the
and,
most part,
and it was
especially
an
in the 90s,
episode where like
2000s.
Rachel's still obsessed with Ross.
Well, I mean, which one?
I don't
I
know.
I've I've probably watched that entire series probably about like 5 or 6 times. Um, but I mean, like I've watched Parks and Rec probably 10 times. I've watched Married with Children probably about like 4 times. Um, Scrubs probably 15 times. Uh, I X Files probably like 3 or 4 times. That one's a long one. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I've been occupying my time by watching a lot of TV and movies,
And Cats.
and Cats once a week, every week
Cats
for a year.
Cats is important.
And okay, so you know how we talked about how it came onto HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the week before, because I decided, you know what, I'm finally going to start doing the podcast about this damn movie. So I was like, all right, and it came on sale like on a certain app that I use, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna buy it and I'll have it. I paid like $15 for it the next day, and I had already had HBO Max. The next day, it shows up on HBO Max. So, uh,
Okay, yeah, I saw on Apple TV that Cats the movie cost about the same price as getting HBO Max.
yeah,
Like you get more money out of HBO Max than you
but
would buying Cats for $14.99.
yeah, because I'd keep like I would literally one week I would see it like at Walmart, and then all of a sudden it was gone for months, and I never saw it again, and then all of a sudden like a month ago, like right whenever I decided I was going to do this damn show. It shows up back on the shelves, and I'm like, I wish I would have had a physical copy because I need this movie forever. Um, it's so bad. All right. Do you have any plugs that you want to talk about? Are you said you did something at Stir Crazy recently, but do you have anything?
Oh yeah, it's called Stand Up and Give Back. I'm basically on Instagram at Kate.Borrell.
Okay.
I don't want any weird DMs asking me for nude pics of boobs.
Okay.
I once plugged my Instagram on a show, and then I get a DM asking me to sell a nude pic of my boobs, and I was like, this was a burner account too. So
The internet.
the internet.
Yeah, people suck.
I'm probably just gonna get DMs about cats. So, do you want to see McCavity's McCavity?
All right. All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at fifth of 55 or fifth of 55. The 5 are both numbers; they're not written out. Or you can find me on Twitter as well. You can find the show at YCatsPod, and you can email the show at ycats2019 at Gmail. Ask me anything you want. Next week I have Trajan Dunkley on here, so we're going to talk about that. She DM'd me the other day and was like, I need to be on the show. I don't know why. It's not a great show. But
She's probably watched Cats more than you.
No,
maybe she made her whole life about it. This is my movie.
But once again, we have Kate Borrell, Phoenix area comedian. Hopefully, she's going to do more. Maybe she'll get booked on some big things too. That'd be great.
Oh, and I'm plugging Christmas.
Oh yeah, and it's this comes out on Christmas, and we've got a little Santa Claus back here. And hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And Kate, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope to see you at our show whenever this thing's all over.
I'm gonna wash myself in hand sanitizer.
That'd burn.
Because of the cats.
That'd probably burn.
It'll burn.
I don't suggest that, but if it's what
I'm totally
you think,
kidding.
If it's what you think is going to get the cats off you, then please go. Feel free. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody. That was Y Cats, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.